Happy New Year everyone, and welcome back to the EatMe Cooks channel. Today we'll be trying a super easy homemade meatball recipe that's packed with flavor. What's great about this recipe is that you can make a bunch of meatballs for a variety of dishes, or if you don't feel like cooking all your meatballs at once, you can store the mixture in your fridge and it'll still be good for a couple of days. Let's get right into this recipe. So the ingredients you will need for this recipe are 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground veal, rosemary, thyme, 7 garlic cloves, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, panko breadcrumbs, good olive oil, half a cup of milk, 1 egg, and Manchego cheese. We'll first start with the garlic. Mince your garlic cloves into small pieces. The last thing you want is to bite into a delicious meatball only to find large pieces of garlic. Then we'll give our rosemary a rough chop. It doesn't have to be perfect. And by doing this, we're allowing the flavor and aroma of the rosemary to enhance our meatball mixture. Don't forget to set aside the thyme as well. For our meatball mixture, we'll begin with our wet ingredients. Get a large bowl and pour in your panko breadcrumbs. Then add the half cup of milk and 1 egg. Following that, we can toss in our rosemary, thyme, and minced garlic. Add a few tablespoons of olive oil, and then add a good amount of red pepper flakes. Feel free to add more or not as much depending on your spice tolerance. Mix these ingredients together with a whisk until you have a semi-clunky consistency. Now that our binding mixture is done, we can now work on our meaty portion. Take your ground beef and veal and place that into a new mixing bowl. Then season your meat with a generous amount of salt and pepper. And finally, take your Manchego cheese and grate that into the meat mixture. As an alternative, you can use Parmesan cheese, but I prefer the taste of Manchego for this recipe. Now take your binding mixture and pour that into your meat mix. Stir and fold the two together with a wooden spoon until all the ingredients are combined. Once that's done, we can preheat our convection oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I chose not to make all my meatballs today, only a small batch, but if you're planning to make more than I am, use your regular oven. Also set that to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Take your baking tray, wrapped in aluminum foil, and drizzle some olive oil onto it. Then use a brush to gently sweep the olive oil across the tray. This will prevent the meatballs from sticking during the baking process. Now you can take your meatball mixture and start forming it into small meatballs to place on your baking tray. Scoop up the mixture to cover roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of your hand and gently squeeze it together. If you don't want to use your hands, you can definitely use a couple of spoons to shape your meatballs or even an ice cream scooper. Also, don't be afraid if some are a little bigger than others. Once they start baking, you'll notice that they will slightly shrink in size. After making our meatballs, you'll want to place them into your oven for about 30 to 40 minutes depending on your oven. You can definitely tell your meatballs are cooked through once you see some browning on the top. Once thoroughly baked, take them out of the oven and let them cool. Then you're ready to plate. Today we'll be pairing our meatballs with our lemon garlic pasta. If you haven't checked out that recipe yet, we'll leave a link in the description below. The lemon garlic pasta is very simple to cook up and pairs well with so many dishes. So we'll take a nice serving of our lemon garlic pasta and place 2 meatballs on top. And lastly, we'll grate just a tad bit more of that Manchego cheese because why not? And there you have it! Delicious homemade meatballs that are super easy to make. Leave a comment to let us know what other dishes you think these meatballs go well with. If you are new to our channel and enjoyed this video, subscribe and be sure to hit that bell icon to enable all notifications so you never miss any future videos. Please hit that thumbs up if you liked our meatball recipe and share this video with your family and friends. Thanks for tuning in to this week's EatMe Cooks, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay full.
When I've had enough of your beauty, don't be